want to go to my dear friend Anthony here. I understand that there is a protest going on. Good morning, Mr. Anthony. How are you?
Good morning. I don't know how successful it is. It's just me out here, but I'm just kind of aggravated that it's been 2 years and ain't nothing happened yet, and these cops are still on the force.
So I'm understanding here from Roe, I just heard through the break that you're protesting what happened to our very own Whitlock here several years ago, where she was accosted and beaten by Gulfport PD officers. Of course,
I am.
And of course, that was in county court. She was found not guilty of any crimes. So I'm trying to understand. So right now, what would you see needs to happen, Anthony?
I want these officers fired, and I want their certification yanked.
Yeah, there were 3 officers involved. I don't have the names of them over here. I know things like
Whitlock. Whitaker.
Yeah.
Fisher and Robinson.
Yeah, from Jackson County. So has there been any disciplinary action at all? From the Chief
That's
Cooper?
That I'm aware of. And I have also heard that Robinson's still doing that same stuff, pulling people over, trying to search their stuff, and, the same thing he did with her. I haven't heard of any uses of force yet, because so far the ones that I've talked to that have had this happen to them have complied.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't make it any less right, any less wrong.
So you would like these officers fired? And look, I was in the courthouse, I think, as were you, when one.
I was there front row, brother. You know that.
Yeah, right. When our producer was co-producer was in fact being tried there in county court by Judge Robin Metcalf's court, and you and I also heard Robinson testify that he was literally holding up.
He would pull people over in that area because that is a high drug area, and if they refused the search, then he would call for a canine.
Right.
Which is in direct violation of Rodriguez v. United States.
You've had law enforcement experience, I think, right, Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think the problem is no doubt the officers, but also the people who hire him. The officers are hired by Chief Cooper, and Chief Cooper is hired by the city of Gulfport and approved by the city council. So had you considered taking this before them?
I don't think they'd listen to me. I went to City Hall one time to try to get some policies and try to file a complaint with the city on Joseph Tremuta, the lawyer, and they just pretty much sent me down the road, quite literally. Actually, I have it on video. I have all my FOIAs on video. I have a lot of the phone calls that I've had with them. Put them on that same video. They're all on YouTube. I'll be glad to send you the link.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Has there been any response from law enforcement while you're out protesting in front of the Gulfport PD?
Well, Equipment Security didn't like it, but, I really don't care what Wendy's company thinks. But the clerks in the municipal court were very nice, very receptive, very professional, and they kind of cheered me on.
Yeah. All right, keep us posted, Anthony, and I wish you will. You got a right to peacefully protest. That is protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution, and certainly it's near and dear to me what happens regarding Whitlock.
This is my thing, Rip, if I may.
Yeah.
This is 2 years ago. This is ridiculous. These cops should not have their badge. These cops should not be on the force. These cops should not be entrusted with a firearm and have that kind of rage that they displayed in those videos I've seen. I have gotten my fellow COs fired for less than that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I don't know whether there's a civil action still on the books, but if not, there should be. I'm going to check into that. But bravo
Please
to
do.
you. Bravo to you. But I think whenever you have this kind of rot, it goes all the way to the top. It starts there, to be quite frank.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it boils down to. Appreciate it, Anthony. You take care. Be careful. You know, folks, in a democratic republic like we have, everybody should answer to someone and ultimately answer to the people. Here's how this works. In the city of Gulfport, it first starts with the mayor. The mayor is elected. The mayor appoints a chief of police. The city council is elected. The city council has to approve who the mayor appointed, or he will not serve as a chief of police. So you've got elected individuals who are choosing who's going to be the chief of police. Once the chief is chosen, the chief of police then chooses the officers. However, that is not without oversight from the city council, because the city council approves the budget. What is the budget? That is the chief of police's method of paying the officers that they select. And trust me on this, it also determines the salary of the chief of police. The way to get this done is to vote. And to be quite frank, and I'm sure others know this, you contact the city councilman as well. If there's anyone who can effectuate a significant change, it would be the city council. The mayor is weak. I mean, they're not saying that Hugh Keating is weak. It's just the mayor's position is weak. Only thing he can do is take whatever it is to the city council. He can, in fact, at his discretion, fire the chief of police. But then again, he's faced with hiring another chief of police to the approval of the city council. Of course, I would imagine that the mayor wouldn't do that without some consultation with the city council. Folks, let me just tell you something. The officer who killed a 14-year-old boy is still on the force. That 14-year-old boy was unarmed at the time that he was killed and running in the opposite direction from law enforcement. Shot in the head. There's something really wrong. You don't have rot. Rot is, starts at the top here, folks. And look, all due respect to all involved, we hired people to do a job and maintain some professionalism. And when such time that a person is unprofessional or that agent is unprofessional, then you've got to look at the agent, but also look at those who hired him. We have a president who made a living out of firing people as if somehow or another that's a great thing. Trust me, as a CEO of several companies, it's an embarrassment for me to fire anybody, which means my firing record is very low. If I had to fire you, that means that, damn it, I did not vet you. That means that I did not do what was necessary. It's a commentary on my leadership. It's a commentary on how good I am at choosing employees. Don't brag on that. Of course, someone made a pretty significant living on television with firing, and some of you enjoy it. You're fired. Yeah, right. Shouldn't have hired you in the first place is what that means, to be quite frank. Unfortunately, there are times when you have to. But it's a commentary on you when that happens. If, in fact, you've got an administrator or a supervisor who's having to fire a bunch of people after he's hired them, there's something wrong with that supervisor. He should himself be fired because his selections are very poor. All right, a lot to cover, a short period of time. We've got to land here at some point, folks.